What's going on, ladies and gents, boys and girls, guardians of all ages? Joker back again, once again, in another week, another chance to see if Bungie's actually listening. So we're catching up on the TWAB, chocked full of strike, nightfall, and ritual-related content without any of the actual content. Yay! Now, normally I'd commentate as I read the TWAB, picking apart the various statements as I went. However, I only have sort of a singular opinion when it comes to the ritual activities and the current state of Destiny 2's core activities. So for the sake of convenience, there will be a timestamp on the screen that you can go ahead and click to if you want to go ahead and just hear my opinions. You know, if you've already read it, or more likely, listen to another YouTuber recite it already. But for the rest of you that want to torture yourself with the sound of my voice for the next 4 to 5 minutes as I speed through it to get to the point, let's go ahead and dive right in. This week at Bungie, we talk about rituals and reputation. Week 2 of Solstice of Heroes has began. Between celebrating your accomplishments over the last year and a return of sunlight to the last city, things are feeling pretty good. Make sure to pack some sunscreen on your way to the EAZ. Wouldn't want you to get sunburnt. We have 6 weeks until a new season. There are many of us who have an insatiable appetite for content. But there's always going to be some time to relax. Gives folks time to catch up, or just take a breather from our fight against the darkness. We think it's about time we start trickling out some fun details. A few little snacks here and there, or a few bite-sized treats to enjoy if you aren't still chewing on a season full of overrides, expunges, and more. This week, our Season 15 appetizer comes in the form of ritual reputation updates. Earning a reputation. The steady climb towards rewards and reputation is something I've come to love in Destiny over the last few seasons. Sometimes a reset can fly by when playing with a group of friends, but other times I could get stuck trying to finish out my Gambit challenges. Even so, having a direct way to grind out some Ascendant shards was a welcome change with the release of Beyond Light. This week, Rituals lead Alan Blaine will be walking us through some of the great changes the team has been working on to unify the reputation experience of our ritual activities. As a warning, we're going to be diving a little deeper into the details here. If you're a Destiny 2 novice, don't be afraid to ask questions. We'll be more than happy to answer what we can after the TWAB is live. Alan, hey Guardians, Season 15 will bring the next step of our ritual unification that started all the way back in Season 13. Unifying ritual ranks and reputation. Over the last few seasons, we've been looking to create a unified experience when playing ritual activities in Destiny 2. Starting with Crucible and Gambit, we created new vendor reputation systems and reward tracks. We did some back-end work at the start of Season 14 in preparation for large-scale changes to these reputations, while still preparing for the introduction of Vanguard ranks. Before we deep dive into Vanguard ranks, let's talk a little bit about the updates to the reputation system overall as we prepare for a future where more vendors are given similar treatment. In Season 15, ritual reputation systems on Lord Shaxx, the Drifter, and Commander Zavala will be known as Crucible, Gambit, and Vanguard ranks. The names Infamy and Valor will be retired. Glory will continue to live as our competitive Crucible reputation system. We're introducing Trials ranks in Season 15, more about that in a future TWAB. We're rebalancing all ranking systems to have a similar progression time. Our goal is to let players reset Vanguard, Crucible, and Gambit ranks slightly faster on average than Valor currently allows. There will no longer be ritual-specific rules that impede progress. We're removing win streak bonuses in exchange for activity streak bonuses. Reputation bonus weeks have been standardized to 2x multipliers when active. Bounties will no longer provide reputation as rewards, but primarily focus on XP. We looked at how long it would take for players who win nearly every game to reset their reputation versus players who lose nearly every game, and tuned it so that the total time taken to reset is only around 2 times, rather than the 3 to 4 times right now. Overall, we expect 2/3 of your reputation to come from simply playing activities. If you win matches in Crucible or Gambit, you'll still reset a bit faster. As we mentioned, Glory will continue to live as our competitive Crucible reputation system, and will also retain win streaks for faster ranking. We don't have any specific plans to share on Glory right now, but we'll be looking at opportunities in future seasons for potential updates. Vanguard ranks. Commander Zavala is getting a full ritual reputation like Lord Shaxx and the Drifter before him. As a note, Vanguard tokens are being retired, so make sure to spend them before Season 15 begins. Players may earn Vanguard reputation when completing the following activities: Strikes, Nightfalls, Battlegrounds. For those looking to take on a challenge, Nightfalls give different bonuses based on completion medals, which can be earned through high scores and defeating all champions. Bronze, Silver, Gold, and Platinum medals grant reputation bonuses, and Nightfalls grant reputation modifiers depending on the difficulty of the Nightfall selected. The more difficult the Nightfall, the higher the multiplier will be. Zavala will also have a full reputation reward line similar to the ones added to Shaxx and the Drifter in Season 13. Powerful rewards will be granted every 3rd rank, and an Ascended Shard will be rewarded when resetting the first time. Activity streaks and reputation bonuses. As noted above, Season 15 will introduce activity streaks. The longer you stay in Vanguard activities, playlist or direct launch, the larger your streak bonus is. Guardians can leave the matchmaking queue to snag bounties from the tower or clean out their postmaster in the helm without worry of losing those activity streaks. As a note, quitting activities or going AFK for extended periods of time will invalidate your streak, so be ready to play if you're looking to keep yours going. As with Crucible and Gambit, Zavala will be looking to host weekly reputation bonuses throughout the season. Stay tuned for in-game announcements. Seasonal Ritual Weapon Quest and Ornaments. Next season, we're moving the Seasonal Ritual Weapon and Ornaments to the Reputation Reward tracks of Vanguard, Crucible, and Gambit. As players increase their reputation during the season, they'll work towards unlocking the weapons and respective ornaments of each vendor. We're also opting to update seasonal challenges, removing things like In It for Infamy in favor of challenges to earn ritual weapon rewards. Grandmasters and Conqueror Gilding. Back when we introduced Grandmaster Nightfalls and the Conqueror title, with Gilding Seals still 9 months away, we wanted to give players a hard-to-reach goal that measured both skill, communication, build crafting, and time commitment. But that was also mindful of players' time and real-life schedules. We saw a lot of feedback about rewards and general time commitment to reach Grandmaster levels, so we've been making some improvements season over season. We added better masterworking material drops, adept weapons and mods, and title gilding. Seasonal challenges and plus 10 power seasons means it's never been easier to get to the pinnacle and artifact power needed early in the season. The addition of a catch-up node, which currently appears during the final 3 weeks of a given season, may help players conquer this aspirational content, even if they couldn't play every week of a given season. Thanks to these changes, we're seeing a lot more players attempting Grandmasters and gilding their Conqueror's titles than ever before. While we still believe that starting in week 7 gives GMs a nice seasonal cadence, waiting until the final 3 weeks of a season to guild no longer feels correct. We would like players to play the week's Grandmaster Nightfall for rewards, not Lake of Shadows, the easiest perceived strike. Later in Season 15, we're planning on making the following changes to the Grandmaster catch-up node to let players guild their title earlier in the season, while also addressing our concerns over a single strike being a boon for high-tier rewards over the last 3 weeks of a season. The Grandmaster catch-up node will become available at the same time that Grandmaster difficulty is available, so long as you have the Conqueror title but have not yet gilded it this season. Each Grandmaster Nightfall will be available if the Fireteam leader has not completed the Gilded Triumph for that strike during the season. In other words, you may play each featured strike for a season to earn your gilded title. Once you've gilded your title, the catch-up node will no longer be available. We're excited to release these changes in Season 15 and are looking forward to your feedback. Once you've had some time to dig in and earn your rewards, sound off with your thoughts. Alrighty then, well, that was most certainly a lot of that. Look, I'm not gonna look a gift horse in the mouth. Any incentive to keep players playing or speed up the rate at which players can level up different playlist pursuits is always welcome. More so when it helps alleviate the level grind. I've said it before, I'll say it again, I'll probably say it a million more times. Leveling is not content. And whether it be armor grind, or power grind, or material grind, or artifact grind, all of these grinds are nothing more than a roadblock to pad out content without really adding anything to the game. So any ways that Bungie continues to try to alleviate that will always be welcome. But I can't help but think this is little more than a band-aid on a stab wound. The issue with the core and ritual playlists is not how fast I can farm materials, or how fast I can farm weapons, or level up, or get a gilded title, or any of that fucking nonsense. In the grand scheme of things, those are cool. Those are great when the game's in a healthy place. But it's not. Season after season, we see Crucible, Gambit, and Strike playlists utterly starved for new content. Yes, there's the occasional weapon, and that's a nice treat. I'm not going to deny that. But you know what would be a really nice treat? New Crucible maps, new Strikes, new Gambit maps, new content to really get people excited about these quality of life changes. There's only so many times you can play the Inverted Spire before it gets a little old. Destiny needs support for its competitive PvP mode. I mean, like, why the fuck is it even in the game at this point?
But Joker!
I hear you cry out in a shrill, tremulous voice.
Destiny is really just a PvE game with PvP duct taped to its side.
Is it though? Is it though? Is it though? Yeah, you do get seasonal content, which tends to be a handful of recycled mechanics that are used over and over and over and over again ad nauseum, just with a new paint job every couple of seasons. It's not like PvE players are getting new strikes and raids all the time. I think we can all agree that both PvE and PvP players get screwed when it comes to the amount of content that they actually get throughout a year. On top of having things like raids and location sunset for PvE players, and game modes removed from the game or maps removed from the game for PvP players. It all just sucks. And hey, you know what? They streamlined leveling up ritual pursuits. Yay! They streamlined gilding titles. Yay! Give me some actual fucking content. Because these quality of life changes, yeah, they're great, but at the same time, I'm playing the same 5 fucking strikes I've been playing for, what, 4 years at this point? And I'm exaggerating, 1 PvP mode on, what, 3 maps? All in all, like I said, the changes are great. Glad they did them. I just wish there was a suite of new content to experience them with. But hey, those are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments below. Remember to like, but only if you did. Subscribe for more. Feel free to donate to my Patreon if you're feeling particularly generous. But above all else, stay frosty.